I'm very concerned about cell phones and what they will mean for the long term. Cell phones are a form of microwave radiation, and most people are unaware that a cell phone is a two-way microwave radio. The long-term impact of that on our health is a matter of very serious concern. The World Health Organization has recently determined that cell phone radiation should be regarded as a possible human carcinogen, just like a number of pesticides, engine exhausts, and things that are used to degrease and clean up hazardous waste. So these are agents you would never let a child play with. You'd never give a child a pesticide to play with or sit them down at the end of a tailpipe, something coming out of a truck. So why are we giving our children cell phones to play with, assuming that they have to be safe, when the World Health Organization says it should be regarded like a pesticide as it's a possible carcinogen?
If you're going to give a child a cell phone, what would be the age that you would, say would be the appropriate age?
One size does not fit all when it comes to children and parenting, that's for sure.
That is true.
Bangalore, India, it's illegal to sell a cell phone to be used by someone under the age of 16, right? If you feel that you have to give your child a cell phone, ask yourself why, and whether there might not be safer things to do. But here's the most important thing. You need to practice safe phone. That means never use a cell phone except for speakerphone or with a headset. And children need to understand this. In Israel and France, it's against the law to sell a cell phone without a headset.
Wow.
Right. Now, they pass those laws because they understand that this is a serious potential health issue here, and it's very easy to deal with it by simply saying, okay, you're going to use a phone, have a headset. Right? Use a speakerphone. So children should be taught to text. They should be taught never to keep the phone on in your pocket.
I met Dr. Davis a few years ago in Greece when we were receiving an award, and I was so fascinated by her research on the war on cancer, and when, I forgot the name of the book, but it was something like When Death Fell from the Skies. And I started to read her book, and I realized, wow, she knows a lot of what's happening in our society in regards to hidden dangers for breathing.
Really, actually, after I looked at it, and I looked at the website, and I looked at her book, it's interesting to see, because I too think that we're exposed to so many different things in our life, and it's all additive. It's not just one thing, and I think she's on to something. And from a federal government's perspective, I think she's on to something too.
Cell phones are only tested in two positions right now for the FCC requirements. One, they're held like this at the head, and the other, they're put on a holster at the hip. They are not ever tested inside your breast pocket or your pants pocket. And if they were, they would exceed the FCC exposure guidelines. If you go to our website, environmentalhealthtrust.org, you will find the fine print warnings that we've put up there that come from the manuals for the phones today. The Apple iPhone 4, in the fine print, it says, if you put it in your pocket, you can exceed the FCC exposure guidelines.
Wow.
The BlackBerry says it should be kept 2.54 centimeters, 0.98 inches, from the pregnant abdomen or the abdomen of teenagers. So the question we've been asking at Environmental Health Trust is, if that's a fine print warning, why don't we tell people in advance? And that's what we're doing.
Right.
We're not opposing phones. We want people to be smarter about how they use them. You can't call it a smartphone if it kills brain cells.